I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are loads of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's a page on that website with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also access information about the books to have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of exam techniques and tips on how to best prepare for your exam, and also how to make the best use of the time when you're actually working through your exam paper on exam day. So if you can go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And so now we're going to crack on and make a little bit more progress with the 2015 Grade 2 Paper C. So if you turn with me to page 11, we're going to have a go from question 5 onwards. And I always say this, but I really do recommend that you have a go of these on your own. First of all, doesn't matter if you go wrong, you'll learn through your mistakes. So just have a crack at these, or at least just perhaps listen to the first part of my explanation, and then you can press pause, have a go yourself, and then when you've had a go, re-access into the video and we'll check through these together. And so let's have a go at question 5. Let's see what that says. Question 5 asks us to add the correct clef to make each of these notes named below. And so we've got to add a treble or a bass clef to make their labelling correct. And so we can see that this has to be treble clef because the lines are every good boy deserves football. If the top line is F, the next one is G. If this was in the bass clef, that would be the B below middle C. So we just need to watch the clefs. And so this is the bass clef because middle C is at the top of the bass clef, the bottom of the treble. It's as if it meets in the middle. And so that is middle C in the bass clef. Here we have an F sharp. For that to be so, it needs to be in the treble clef because if you remember the spaces in the treble clef spell face, F-A-C-E, so that's treble clef. Otherwise, if you put a bass clef, that would be a note A sharp, all cows eat grass. So we need to do a little bit of extra thinking here to figure out what that note is. And so if we can either count up an octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which takes us to here. And we know that that's a D in the bass clef, good boys deserve. So that's the D, the octave lower. So that will give us the answer. Alternatively, if you start from a point that you know, we know that this is a G, good boys deserve. G, F, E, D, and just count backwards. That will also tell us. So we're going to have to do the same thing here. So if we count down the octave, 1, always count the given note as number 1. That's the one place where you might just slip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to this line, and we know that this is F in the bass clef. Good boys deserve football, so that has to be the bass clef. And we can double check that because we know this is middle C, C, D, E, F. So we can count up and double check that. For this to be note E, it has to be the treble clef. Every good boy deserves football, so that's the treble clef. Here, this is also the treble clef. Let's do the octave first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us to this middle line, every good boy. Or also, if we know that this every good boy deserves football, the top line is F, F, G, A, B. So it has to be treble clef. Otherwise, if it was the bass clef, it would be the D above middle C. There we go. So this one here, let's count our octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takes us here. F, A, C in the treble clef. So we know this must be treble clef. And if you count from the top line, F, G, A, B, C, that will double check. And so now if we look at this next one, let's count up the octave. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's A in the treble clef, because we know it goes F, A, C, E, spell space. And also we can see that there's middle C, B, A. So that's another way of checking. This must be bass clef. Good boy to serve football always. So there's your G sharp in the bass clef. And then here, for this to be an E flat, let's count. We know this is a G, so we can just count backwards. G, F, E flat. So that must also be the bass clef. There we go. That's that question completed. Let's turn over the page and carry on. So question 6, we're going to be looking at some intervals. So we're just counting up the steps of the scale. We're counting in A major, so A is always the first. So we can see, they've told us here this is the A major. So if we count from A, always count the given note, the tonic, here as the first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're up a fifth. And also, if you think about it, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're back to the octave A. And we can see that F, A, C, E is a fifth. And so we know we've got the correct step of the scale there. And so if we're counting from A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. C is a third. So let's count from A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a sixth. And we can see that F is the sixth. Of course, it's an F sharp because of your key signature, but the key signature takes care of that, so we don't have to worry about it. And then here from the A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a fifth. And we can double check that. It's the same note. They've already given us the answer, really. So if F is the sixth, the one above F is a seventh. Let's just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's our seventh, the G. And we can see that G is the seventh. Of course, it's G sharp because of the key signature, but we don't need to worry about that. And then one step higher gives us our octave because we've come back to A. So whether you say octave or eighth, that's fine, it's up to you. Here we have an A again, so we can say octave or first or eighth, any of those, it's the same thing. We've come full circle, so any of those would be correct. So now we've got a 1, 2, 3, fourth to the D, that's correct. And then 1, 2, a second is the B. There we go. And now then we've got to do a little bit of maths. How many semiquavers or 16th notes are the tied notes marked with a bracket worth? So we've got a minim or a half note tied to a quaver. So I'll just start with the minim or the half note. So that begins, that's worth, we break that down into 2 crotchets, 2 quarter notes. If we break that down again, that's 4 quavers. If we break that down again, that's 8 semis. So that's 8 semiquavers or 8 16th notes. Now we've got to think about this tied quaver, and we know that a quaver breaks down into 2 semiquavers, so we've got to add those 2 on, and so that makes 10 semiquavers or 10 16th notes in total. I just find it easier to diagram that out. Let's press on. And so now we're asked to write the tonic triads named below. So that's the first part of the question. Do not use key signatures, but remember to add any necessary sharp or flat signs. So we've got to add those as accidentals, but of course we'll need to bear in mind what the key signature should be to know which accidentals to add. So first of all, we know this E flat major has a key signature of B flats, E flats and A flats. It's a good idea to have these written out on a piece of paper. You get a piece of scrap paper before you even start your exam, so you can just think of that once and then you've done your thinking. And so the tonic triad is the first, the third and the fifth. So if we're in E flat major, we want an E, first, third is the G, fifth is the B, and of course the E will be flat, we need an E flat, and the B will be flattened, making that key signature active where it's appropriate. So now we need to do A minor. Again, we're in the treble clef, so just watch where you're positioning those. A minor, the first is A, third, C, E, first, third, fifth. A minor is related to C major, which would have a key signature of nothing, so job done there. So D minor now. So let's just get the blobs in place. So we want a D, bass clef, good boys deserve, D, F, A. Now D minor is related to F major, which has a key signature of B flats. We've only written notes D, F and A, so there's no B there that needs flattening, so there's no need to add any accidentals. If we were asked to add a key signature, we'd put the B flat in, but as it's not active on any of those notes, there's no need for us to add it. So G major, in bass clef, we know it goes good boys deserve, so G is the first, third is B, fifth is D, G, B, D. G major has a key signature of F sharps. As we've not written an F, we've only written G, B, D. There's no need to add that as an accidental next to those. It's not appropriate. So D major, we're in the treble clef. So let's do the D, first, third, fifth. So we've written a D, F, A. D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps. We have an F here, so we're going to need to add the sharp to show where the key signature applies. So there we go, that's that question complete. We'll leave the last question to the last video. I do hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that you're enjoying it and I hope it's of benefit to you. If you can give me a like, that'd be super. Please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated, and please do visit sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.